Shit. It has been one hell of a week. And super fun, I guess, for the space of the internet. You know, Linus Tech Tips got hacked. Um, TikTok has looked like it's getting banned from that whatever that bill is. It's not good. Not a good ban. Not a good bill. Not a good time to be on the internet. And oof, it is wild. The banks, they be crashing. we're really pushing through it. But damn, I guess like maybe spread awareness and like the importance of like ownership and like why the banking industry sucks. And even from like, I'm not even gonna go down like the like, oh, like you need to just put your money into like Monero. You need to you need to go into Monero only, Bitcoin only, blah blah blah. Because I think that's like an out of touch point personally, and I really don't think that moves the conversation in like a good direction. I have no problem with Monero or Bitcoin. I think they're good tools and they're good utilities. But I also think that just being like, fuck the banks, fuck everything, Bitcoin maximalist, you're a Monero maximalist, you know, it's just, it doesn't, because like people still don't even understand. I mean, Bitcoin's been out for a very long time and people still don't understand like how it works. They still think it's like anonymous. And they still think that we like they still have like a lot of false perceptions of what it is they believe. And to be completely honest, it's no different. Bitcoin is like no different than the banking industry or the stock market. It gets heavily manipulated by like bigger whale companies. It's not really as resistant as to like market manipulation. There's no fungibility at all. You can trace like Bitcoin back to like who you are as a person, and they could have, you know, a certain opinion about you, and it's got its own major flaws. And I know that like the Lightning Network is trying to solve, like Bitcoin Lightning is like trying to solve a lot of it. I think Bitcoin Lightning has like more utility than Bitcoin itself. I more of look at as Bitcoin as kind of like just the digital gold. Like, hey, everyone knows you have it. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it can maybe make you some money, and maybe it has some good utility use to it. But other than that, I think like the real progression to get away from like the fiat, like maybe like the fiat currency, and move to a better form, like digital form, would be the step in direction to Monero. It's not perfectly anonymous, like nothing is. And I mean, that's the same thing with cash, because cash you can trace, like there's ways you can, I mean, cash is obviously like one of the best forms of uses of anonymity. And I just think that like if we're gonna move in the digital direction, that Monero is probably like the leading head, and I hope that there's other currencies that follow in its sector, because like with all the rug pulling and the Bored Apes and like doo-doo dog shit, where it's just a bunch of like pump and dump schemes, it's just not good for the space. Yeah, very cringe moment. For like just to see our financial institution just kind of crash. And then like that new bill that they're trying to pass, which I don't know if it will. It's pretty much like the next step to like very invasive privacy tactics. I mean, I guess from like a person who's not like technically like always like I don't grasp like technical stuff like all the time, like very off rip. But we have people in like Congress that literally don't understand like a lot of dynamics of how the internet fucking works, which is crazy. And then they want to pass these bills thinking that it's doing an inherent good, but it's really just no different than the Patriot Act or like the NSA spying on us to counter terrorism, when we know that doesn't like work, and you know that I'll get off that hill before I rant for a very, very long, uncomfortable amount of time. And then I guess maybe it'd be cool to like for people like I think I'll find the link. There's a guy that like talks about like how to like how Monero works, and I think more people should indulge a little bit more into it. Definitely get more technically literate people inside the political space, like fucking vote or get these people educated, because we're getting to the point where there's gonna be misconceptions and mistakes that are made, and then bills pass, and then now you have to go to extreme lengths like the people in China do to just access the internet and have a place of like somewhat form of free speech, and where the ideas can flourish and people can be challenged however you want to look at like whatever it not even like getting on like the political sense, but it's just it hurts to see that we're this is like the direction we're going in. I personally am not a fan of TikTok. I think it's cringe. A lot of people spread information way too quick through there. Very rarely, like it's very rarely fact checked, and then viral shit goes around, and it's because it's such fast information. I kind of have like an issue with it. I'll never use it. It's just I see people use it and they doom scroll, and even that is like its own problem. And maybe, I don't know, but I don't think banning it is going to fix anything. I think that's just like counterintuitive. Let people make that decision for themselves. Because Facebook, look at Facebook, it's dying. It took a long time, way too long. Oh my God, way too long. But Facebook is literally dying, and I'm glad it's dying, and it sucks. Let it die by itself. Let the market kill itself. Whatever. GrapheneOS, amazing still. I know that like there was a nasty like Android vulnerability going around for just a period of time due to like a Samsung chip exploit. I know everyone's talked about it. It's fucking sick. What's even worse is like like vendors are still behind the updates. So one of like my other phones that I use as a daily driver for my other for my life, it still hasn't gotten the update. Very cringe, very stupid, very annoyed by it. I don't know if it's carrier specific or if it's Android specific or whatever. It just sucks. This is why I promote GrapheneOS to everyone if they can. And then these custom ROMs, stay away from them if they don't deliver your security patch updates in a timely manner. It is not worth it. It is pointless, because this exploit's so easy that all they just need, I believe, is your phone number. Yeah, like your phone number, and then they can just remote execute code, which is fucking wild. And that's at the chip level. That's fucking insane. So if you can update your phone, update it to the newest security patch. Hope that your phone manufacturer's vendor, your wireless carrier vendor, whoever gets that in order. Yeah, really, really wild. Linus Tech Tips, his channel. I know that like all this old news is like now kind of old because I don't want to ride the train. Gets session cookie hijacked, which is fucking crazy. That's wild. Huge channel, and everyone's already made their opinion about it. So I don't really have an opinion beyond like that's just wild. Imagine like you having like a big ass fucking channel, and they're just like, psych, nerd, you are now pwned, and we will now promote Elon Musk. I find it still kind of crazy. I know this is like weird. I still find it crazy that people follow for like they're like when you look at the addresses, it's kind of funny. People actually sent crypto to him. like, I'm not gonna victim blame, but this is no different than getting that email from like the you got whatever those fucking prince, like I'm the long lost like African prince or whatever the fuck it is, and if you send me Zimbabwe, whatever the fuck it is, I send you send me $1,000, I'll send you 2,000, like shit like that, like it still blows my mind that people like still fall for it. I don't know, maybe it's because I feel like it's been talked about. It's been talked about enough for whatever reason that people still follow it. Yeah, wild times in tech. I think that what we can take away from this is 2FA on everything. If you can, 2FA hardware keys. YouTube fixed their issue. Like I know everyone's already made their analysis, but 2FA, this is a good example. Not that it's perfect and that it can't be, like this wouldn't have protected it, but this is just a reminder. Clear your browser data. Exit your browser. Use container. I believe that this could have been solved. And yes, it would have been annoying, but this could have been solved if I think if you're like at a work, if you have a work computer and it's public and like you use it all the time, clear your browser data. I believe that was like the solution. That this wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't have been able to jack the session through. And then like don't download like files from email attachments without some form, especially when you're that big. I think there is a level of irresponsibility to not somewhat educate. Like, I think you should have, like, especially how big you are, you should have steps of stuff to do. Like, and maybe this is just, like, my personal take, and, like, this is, like, my personal opinion. You should have steps in an organization when you get so big that prevent something like this to happen, even on the most elementary level, like the very smallest level. Like, hey, clear browser history, log in, deal with it. Log in, deal with it. You know what I mean? Put that password in every time. 2FA every time. Educate good not password hygiene, 2FA hygiene, but email hygiene. Like, don't download just because it's a sponsorship, just because it's this. I know it's time consuming, but you guys are just like it's such a waste of time. Like, look at this, could have just not only been prevented. I think the only good that came out of it, in like maybe like my perspective, is that it brought light to a lot of glaring issues that YouTube has, where they allowed them to switch stuff over, blah blah blah, allowed to like change the name without another password or authentication, not do this, not do this. We understand that, like, it wasn't entirely the just the password, like 2FA password, like this wouldn't have really mattered because it was a cookie hijack session or whatever. But like the real big but is, if they wouldn't have downloaded that link, like that file, this wouldn't have happened. And then Google, like and then they should have been like, this is kind of weird. They're like logging in from like a different country, even if it's a VPN. Like they're logging in from like a different IP address that we've never seen before. This looks suspicious. We should make them re-authenticate. But maybe there should have been like, hey, if you get a file, let's look at it, let's examine it, or have a isolated computer for stuff like this. Like, isolate this computer and have it, like, all the emails that for that particular, maybe this is just like my brain working. Isolate that computer. That's it. Isolate that computer from everything else, from your YouTube channel. Have it separate. Don't have it like, all right, I'm going to log in for the email for this. I'm going to have everything on this computer to deal with our YouTube channel. Isolate it. I feel like that would solve it, right? Like, I know it seems kind of extreme, but I think that was like, or like have a team, you have so many fucking employees, like have a person like take that email, send it to a specific team, have them look at it, like, or I think there's ways you can open up documents where it doesn't like execute it on your computer. You can like isolate it, find a way to isolate all of it, and prevent this. Have better steps of, it's kind of like, I heard the best analogy. A firewall doesn't stop necessarily everything. It's kind of like Swiss cheese. And then that Swiss cheese, you just keep, I can't remember where I heard it from, but if somebody tell me where this came from. It's beautiful. Eventually you keep stacking the Swiss cheese. Yeah, there's holes, but the holes eventually overlap where it's so annoying they stop somewhere. Like they stop. They stop at some point. And I think that's what's important. Like, yeah, 2FA and good password wouldn't have stopped this. But not having an employee have the same machine that has all the login credentials download links and files. Like, we know this. That would be, maybe that would have solved it. Or isolated, browser isolation. I don't know. I use Chasm sometimes when I want to go on like some very questionable sites, which is, it's on a separate machine, it's on its own network, and it's completely separated from my network. And they're like disposable browsers. I don't know if that would have solved it. I know it's containerized. Maybe they should look into that. Or just have a specific machine for stuff like that. I don't know. You know, maybe I'm talking out of my ass. Maybe I'm retarded. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just, I think should be a level of responsibility at that level where they should have taken their security more serious. Maybe if, you know, just, not that like I'm saying they do or don't, just, you know, my personal thought, I feel like it maybe could have been, because I know maybe it could have been mitigated. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet yelling at the cloud. GrapheneOS though. Great job on the patches. I got it. Monero. Definitely hammer on to... Look, I use Cake Wallet everywhere I go, and maybe I was brain dead. This is the best part. So Cake Wallet, I use them to buy virtual cards, and I know it's kind of counterintuitive, but some of these places, man, like I go up and I'm like, hey, I have a virtual card. I just want to, can I read it? Can I type it? And they say no. And then I get into like, I don't want to be that fucking guy. Like, I guess I just don't want to be that guy, whatever. But when I buy a virtual prepaid card with Monero through Cake Wallet, I actually get, I just use some random name, like, humongous masturbator, and then I use my virtual number for the 2FA code. This will be important in a second. So I use that. I use random addressgenerator.com, like whatever that, you know what I mean, like where you can make a user profile. I use that, and then I use simple login throwaway email that I just like don't care about. Like I'll create one and make it for because they send a 2FA code if you want to log in to look at your balance. I mainly use this for like stuff that I already I'm like, I know how much I'm spending, I know how much is going into here, I know how much is going out, kind of thing. And then I use my virtual number from my sudo, like one of them, and I just throw it on there. I get then I take the card, because sometimes people, and I add it to my G wallet, my wallet, and they want to authenticate, so I use that. They send the authentication, it adds it, so now I can tap to pay anywhere, which is, you know, super cool. Yeah, unfortunately, like I got to use the wallet, but I think if you want to take it to like the next level, it's super cool. That I can take my Monero, spend it anywhere. I don't have to get they got some of their cards just straight don't work, but it's such a clean experience. Like I pay directly from my wallet. It goes straight over to my my wallet, goes to my wallet, the invoice is paid, it takes like 10 minutes, they send me a card, I add it to my G wallet, and then I use it everywhere. It's really cool. I thought you couldn't for some reason. I had an issue in the beginning, but then I don't know if it was like a bug or if I'm just dumb, and then I fixed it. And I think like me like learning stuff like this, and then getting people like coming from like I guess like a non-technical, like technically always literate person. I think it's good for people like this to teach stuff like this to people because they can kind of like dumb it down where they're like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's cool. That's great. It's kind of like Brave. Hey, use Brave because it's faster, no ads, YouTube Premium in the browser, you know, stuff like that. It's just like making it so like easy for people to like digest. Because when you're like, you gotta like if you download this, it will protect your privacy and you no more trackers from Big Brother pee pee poo poo, like shit like that. Like you just sound like a skits, and people are like, I'm good. I'm just gonna use Chrome Edge and like whatever. And I want to embrace more people. I want to embrace more non-tech people getting into privacy and teaching it. Not that there's anything wrong with learning it on a technical level, but I think it's easier to digest for people that don't understand it, and it's less scary. And I don't think that you should ever give up on trying to convert people over and like Signal. No problem, no issue, very easy. To convince everyone that I've interacted with use Signal or Session. Like I've gotten a lot of people to use Session on like if you use a dating app, and this is how like I kind of like look at it. People don't like giving out the real number on dating apps. Like this is kind of like a flex, like an easy way to flex. You're like, hey, I noticed that you like, hey, you don't want to give your number for your privacy and your security. I don't want to give my number. Download this app, create a user ID, send it to me, and we'll communicate there. It's end-to-end encrypted. You don't got to give me your personal information. However you want to look at, however you want to like. I've never had anyone question or had an issue. They didn't look at it like, oh, I have to download another app. They looked at it like as a benefit. They're like, oh, I don't have to give them my real number in case this fucking guy's nuts, or this girl's nuts, or like this person's nuts, or whatever. This person is not nuts. And if they are nuts, they don't have my real number. GG's, I delete the app. It's gone. It's great. I prefer that. I actually don't even like doing like the Signal thing. I just like, Session is what I primarily use on a specific reason. Like I'm like, hey, if this doesn't work out, they might even keep that and like use it with their friends, which would be awesome. But like they might never, like they don't have to contact you again. And I think that's great. I think it's very hard for people to grasp the care or the want or the need or it's another app to like go over to that. They're like, this is why like, even though like Mastodon I think it's great, I understand it's not there to replace Twitter or Norst or whatever that's called, whatever that one app is called, Norster, which I've dived into a little bit. It's cool. It's a cool concept. I'm not hating on it. I just think it's another app that people have to download, and that's what prevents people from wanting to move on to like other. Because like, where are all my friends? And where's this? And like, how does this work? And now I have to set up another profile, and I don't have the little tag in the corner that says I've been a member since fucking 2002 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. People care about that for some reason, and it's fine. It's understandable. It's their choice. It's their life. It's their storage, their data, blah, blah, blah. And instead of telling people to move to a better app, just make the app better. That's just like I think that's always going to be the better approach. I think Mastodon in itself is a great program. It's great. It's open source. I get to run it myself. Though that matters to me. I can run it at home, on my server, on my equipment. Some people don't want to do that, and they don't want to jump to a new app. I don't think we should be like, fuck Twitter and let it die. We should be like, hey, let's make Twitter better. Hey, let's make insert like Facebook's never going to be good. That can die actually. That's the only time I'll sound like I'm contradicting. That can die. Facebook, die. Just die. End. You suck. You've never been good. Bring back MySpace. If they could bring back MySpace to what it was and federate it, and you could self-host it, I would buy into it. I would put money into it. If you could, fuck Tumblr. Tumblr can suck a dick. If you can bring back OG MySpace, federate it, and let people self-host on a server, I'd buy into it. I would do it. I would die on that hill. MySpace was the great. But you got to bring back bulletins. You got to bring back the bulletin board. Let us customize our user profile. Have like, a little song on there. Have a, what do you call it? My MySpace top 8 and a little song. I'm down. I'm in. If we could do that and federate it, and host our own server, Tom, wherever you are, please bring back fucking MySpace, but federated. That'd be beautiful. I would kill. I hope someone jumps on that. I forget who owns it now. I think Justin Timberlake and Jay-Z. If they can, Jay-Z, Justin Timberlake, make it happen. Get the activity pub involved and federate MySpace. Make America emo again. Whatever you want to do. Whatever we have to do. But back to the main point. I think these are great platforms and these are good. We're moving in an awesome direction. I think more people are caring, but keep spreading the word. Stop letting these boomers get rid of end-to-end encryption. Fuck them. Stop spreading. Stop black pill. Stop taking the black pill, thinking that there's no way to make yourself more private. And overall, I think we need to move in a better direction of leniency, not being so fucking cringe, so cringe with how people present. If somebody doesn't want to even start with Signal, but they're willing to start with Proton, I'm always gonna die on this hill. That is the best thing you can do. Or to Noda, or anything. I understand Google's an infinite money machine. Google's an infinite money machine. That is their only benefit. They will never run out of money. They will never die. Google will be there till the end. So they have a product that sticks. And I understand why people are afraid to leave it, because if Proton stops getting subscribers and they get more expensive, they're done for. That's never going to happen with Google. They can bleed money, which is kind of weird if you think about it. They're not going to. They're just so big that's hard for them to fail. It's not impossible, but it's like you're against giants and you're not even you're like an ant. But Proton can't bleed money like Google. Noda can't bleed money like Google. This is the issue. This is why open source projects die. It is funding, and I get it. It's sad. Donate to your favorite project. Once a month, once a year, whatever. Donate $1 of even if it's $1. That means more to them than anything. Find a project, donate. Donate to one open source crowd community funded project, even if it's $1, and tell everyone about it. That is the best thing you can do. That means more to them than you'll ever understand. If you got $14 for fucking Netflix, garbage. Take that $14 and give it to, double it and give it to the next guy. However you want to look at it. Something. I personally host my own PeerTube in my own server. With my own equipment, with my own money. That's how I'm giving back. I don't care about donations. It'd be cool, it's nice, whatever. Not a thing, not a beggar, not a doer. Anyone can, but I don't care at the end of it, because I personally love doing it. And it's my own equipment. It's not not a VPS that's fucking costing me stupid amount of money. But find a project. I look for tons of projects like the EFF, even donating them $1 or buying their merch or doing something helps them. Or I find an open source project and I'll just buy it. I'll buy their, instead of getting it for free, I'll just buy it. I'm like, set a price, and just let me buy it. Do this. I think this is the reason that a lot of projects donate to Signal, donate to TuneNoda, donate to Proton, buy a Proton membership, buy a sweatshirt. I mean, I can go on a list forever. This is why open source projects fail. The number one reason. It is not lack of users. It's lack of funding, man. It's expensive. And I get it. I wish it wasn't that way. Money sucks. If it was a perfect world, we would it's sad, and I wish we could change it. If you can donate to your favorite big titty streamer on the internet, $5, you can, I hope, even just donate, like, let's remove the money aspect. If you can share that to somebody that can donate, that's better. That's just as good. Share the project. Use the project. If you can, donate to the project. Because I understand not everybody can do that. Damn, this has been going on for 30 minutes. I'm really out here. I guess, like, closing notes. Invest in yourself. Invest in Monero. Learn good OPSEC. Yeah, invest in yourself. Learn good OPSEC. Donate to a good project. Even if it's your time. Even if it's committing code. Like committing code, translating to a different language. That's so huge. So more people can use it and find out about it. Fuck Google. Fuck that bill. Even if TikTok sucks, I'd rather it suck. Be here and suck than that bill exists. Keep end-to-end encryption. Oh yeah, fuck Windows, fuck Apple. Peace.